Bruno! Bruno, stop! What's wrong with you?
On most mornings, the metro bus was just noise. Doors sliding open, footsteps, tired faces, and a retired canine named Bruno sleeping quietly beside his handler, Mark. Bruno wasn't just a dog. For 13 years, he had found missing people, smelled danger before anyone else sensed it, and stood between strangers and tragedy. He was supposed to be enjoying a peaceful retirement, but that morning, nothing about him looked peaceful. Because danger doesn't always shout. Sometimes it walks in quietly, and only one heart in the room can sense it. The bus hissed to a stop at the downtown station. A young pregnant woman climbed aboard, balancing her bag, one hand resting protectively over her belly. And soon as she stepped inside, Bruno lifted his head sharply. Not the lazy reaction of an old dog, a warning reaction. He stood up, stared at her. His nose twitched once, twice, and his ears locked forward. "Bruno?" Mark whispered. "You okay, boy?" But Bruno wasn't looking at him. He was already moving. Mark felt a chill crawl up his spine. In all his years working beside Bruno, there was one rule he had learned the hard way. When Bruno ignored a command, someone's life was in danger. Bruno walked straight toward the woman and barked, a deep, commanding bark Mark had only heard during emergencies. Passengers jumped. Someone grumbled, "Get that dog under control." But Bruno didn't stop. He kept barking at the pregnant woman as if every second mattered. Bruno barked again and again. Not at her belly, at her chest. The woman flinched, gripping the pole tighter. The driver announced, "Sir, if you can't calm your dog, I'll have to remove him." Mark stepped forward, trying to calm Bruno. "Hey, what's going on with you? Sit!" Bruno ignored the command. Instead, he looked at Mark, then at the woman. A look Mark had seen only in life-or-death moments. A look that meant, "Do something. Now." Mark gently touched the woman's arm. "Ma'am, are you feeling okay?" She tried to smile. "I'm fine, just a little..." Her voice wavered. Bruno barked again, louder, and nudged her leg, trying to push her toward a seat. Mark's heart dropped. The dog wasn't being aggressive. He was trying to anchor her, to steady her. "Ma'am," he said softly, "please sit, right now." She hesitated, confused. Then Bruno pushed again, desperately. She sat, and the moment she did, her face drained of color. Her hand flew to her chest. Her breathing turned jagged. Her eyes widened with fear. I can't." Her knees buckled before she could finish the sentence. She collapsed sideways. Bruno immediately lay beside her, pressing his body against her for support. Mark dropped to his knees. "Driver, stop the bus! Call 911!" The bus screeched to a halt. Mark checked her pulse. It was fading. "Come on, stay with me," he whispered. He looked at Bruno. The dog was staring straight at him, breathing fast, distressed, as if begging him to act. Mark began CPR. Passengers watched in shock, some crying, some praying, and Bruno stayed glued to her side, refusing to move. Minutes felt like hours. Mark kept compressing her chest, calling her name, while Bruno stayed close, licking her hand, keeping her conscious between breaths. When EMTs stormed onto the bus, one paramedic looked stunned. "You did CPR at exactly the right time. Her heart rhythm was crashing. If she had stayed standing, she would have gone into full arrest." Another paramedic looked at Bruno. "Is he trained for medical detection?" Mark shook his head slowly. He was trained for search and rescue, but this was all him. The doctors later confirmed it. Her blood pressure had suddenly collapsed. Her heart was seconds away from stopping. The dog smelled it before any human could see it. Bruno had warned them before she ever felt it. Weeks later, the woman visited Mark and Bruno. She knelt beside the old canine, tears in her eyes. "I don't remember much," she whispered, "but I remember his face, and the way he wouldn't let me stand. He saved my life. He saved my baby's life." Bruno leaned forward and pressed his forehead gently to her belly, a soft, instinctive blessing. Months later, she sent Mark a photo, a newborn wrapped in a warm blanket, with a name tag beside him that read, Bruno. Because heroes don't always wear uniforms. Some just bark at the right moment and save 2 lives without ever saying a word. Because Bruno didn't save a stranger that day. He saved a future.